And so once again, India take on Pakistan in a World Cup game. A game like no other. But this time, for a reason more than at any other time in the past. Never, that I can remember, have India and Pakistan come to a tournament, come to a World Cup. It's the sixth time they're going to play each other. So meagerly represented. Let's go team by team. And let's just for comparison, look at that unforgettable match in 2003. Who was bowling for Pakistan in 2003? Wasim, Waqar, Shoaib, Afridi, Acclaimed, Raza. Who was batting for India? Tendulkar, Sehwag, Ganguly, Dravid, Yuvraj, Kaif. It was a star-studded encounter. Who's playing today? Pakistan, Umar Gul is injured. Saeed Ajmal is out. Hafiz is out. Junaid is out. There's a bit of a concern about whether the 7-footer Irfan, his fitness can hold. Who's playing for India? Shikhar Dhawan out of form. Rahane finding his feet. Rohit Sharma incandescent when he plays, but not every day. Kohli just a stutter after the test matches. It's a match between two teams that are very uncertain. India had a terrible tour of Australia. Pakistan have won nothing in New Zealand and they're looking very shaky. Who will hold their nerve? One team will go in thinking, oh God, what if we lose? That is the team that is going to be under pressure. There's one other factor. If you look at the structure of this World Cup, you think everyone's going to make the quarterfinal, yes, most likely. But my gut feel is that because so much is riding on this game, the team that loses this game might just suffer such a dip in morale that they might start to go downhill. Also remember, the other group is the tougher group. You don't want to play Australia in a quarterfinal. You don't want to play, say, a New Zealand in Wellington. You might get a really cold, chilly, windy day on a green top. So you want to finish very high in your group, 1, maybe 2. You want to get that momentum. You want to kickstart it. You want to drive the blues away. You want to feel really good about winning again. That, I think, is the major factor. Even more so than the form of a Kohli and a Dhoni and a Misbah and a Yunus and a Wahab Riaz and a Shami and an Ashwin. I think those are all side players. So when you watch this game, just watch body languages. Just see if someone is starting to look like they've lost it. Just see if someone is putting on an act of being larger than life. And just see how they start reacting when the pressure starts to build. It's a big, big game.
Once you beat Pakistan in Adelaide, you beat South Africa in Melbourne, and those were huge wins. Not just the occasion itself, but the crowds, the state of the World Cup, the kind of performances that came up, it was huge. And then India went to Perth. If you've been from Melbourne to Perth, it's almost halfway to Chennai. Once you get there, it's quiet. The kind of opposition was different. You're playing against the United Arab Emirates, which is really a group of people who've gone there to work and continued staying on there, who've not played this level of cricket. So can you read too much into India beating the United Arab Emirates? You can, for one reason. You were looking in that match, not for the result. You were looking to see people get a game in and see how they were playing in there. Rohit Sharma's half-century meant little in the context of the match. But for him, out there, he looks up at the scoreboard the next day, he sees, or the scorecard the next day, he sees a 50 against his name. He thinks, you know what, my World Cup is up and going. But I was looking very carefully at a couple of things. You're playing at Perth. How much was the bounce? The bounce was as typical as a Perth pitch. The ball was pitching and going. Even Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the wicketkeeper, was collecting it up here. So I was saying, how will India play two spinners in there? Because playing two spinners is central to Mahendra Singh Dhoni's plan of going ahead in this World Cup, maybe actually going on and winning it. And I was overjoyed by what I saw from Ashwin. Because he's a tall bowler, he was bowling from good height and he was using the bounce really well. Jadeja enjoyed the bounce even though he's flatter. And so that has implications because you're playing against a team that doesn't enjoy the bounce very much. You don't know if the West Indies are in disarray because when you think they are, Chris Gayle scores 200 runs. But I just think that on that surface, with the spinners bowling the way they are, India will actually enjoy playing at Perth. I was under the impression that if India had a banana skin match, it could be this one against the West Indies in Perth. But from that point of view, that win against UAE was very good because it told you that your spinners and your bowlers would actually create a lot of trouble for the opposition there. So I think from that point of view, that it was a very important game, that one against UAE.
Matches come and go at a World Cup.
but you want to remember some things for what happens much after the World Cup is over. And I thought I saw that in the India-West Indies match. It could be because it was played in Perth, but it's been a very long time since I saw two Indian fast bowlers running in and, well, maybe fear is too strong a word, but putting doubts into the minds of the opposition opening batsmen by sheer pace alone. There was Chris Gayle, there was Dwayne Smith, two proven international short form players, dare I say that, with Dwayne Smith more 20-20 than 50 overs cricket. But in-steamed Mohammad Shami from one end, the exasperating Mohammad Shami. He's the Rohit Sharma of bowling. He's got everything going for him. He shows from time to time that he can be genuinely brilliant, but he doesn't do that often enough. And just as Rohit Sharma is starting to prove himself, so is Mohammad Shami. So Shami from one end and Umesh Yadav from the other. How long have we waited for Umesh Yadav to go out and show to the world I'm a fast bowler? Out and out fast. Not fast by definition, by the Indian definition of fast, but proper fast. So Shami at one end, Yadav at the other. Two gunslingers, 140 plus consistently at either end. They were digging it in short, they were swinging the ball. And believe me, for someone who's seen medium pace bowling for so long, it was absolutely wonderful to see. And you know, when we were growing up, fast bowling was West Indies. And you had the Indian batsmen playing here and playing there, and stories abounding of some Indian batsmen not wanting to go out to bat. And I thought to myself, look how the world turns. There is no permanency in this world. Everything goes round in cycles. Everything changes. Two Indian fast bowlers are making the West Indies hop. And to me, that was the highlight. And even though Dhoni did his customary match-saving role, and he did it after a while, to be honest, I thought that 45 not out from Dhoni was wonderful for India. But he did that after a while, but he's done that before. So in spite of the fact that India won a good match against the West Indies, to me the highlight of that match was Shami at one end, Yadav at the other, then Mohit Sharma coming at the back of them, digging it in short, seeing that 12 out of the 17 or 18 wickets that fell to pace have fallen to the short pitched ball. Whoever thought that would happen? So that was the major highlight. The other, I think it was very important for India to get a tough match. India had started against Pakistan, South Africa, and then went through a phase, actually spent a lot of time without playing a game, certainly not a tough game. So India needed that close game. It went exactly as per script. You wanted a close game, you wanted yourself to dig in deep, you wanted to learn a thing or two about your players. You found out all that and you won. So it was quite the perfect result against the West Indies at Perth. Really good cricket match, but purely for the fast bowlers, I will remember that exhibition after the World Cup is over.
The lovely greens of Sydney, a lovely city for what is going to be such a big match, the semi-finals of the World Cup, India versus Australia. So much history, so much passion between the two countries. To me, there are a couple of key issues. I think the most important is, what state of mind are India getting into this game? Are they thinking 7 matches in a row, 70 wickets, 7 man of the match awards, each time a different person, everybody in form, no obvious weak link, wow, let's take on the Aussies? Or are they saying, oh God, Australia again. Haven't beaten them for a long time in their own country, didn't have a chance. Or are they saying, no, you know what, actually in the Tri-Series we weren't there. So I'd like to know what the mindset of the Indian team is. Are they saying, take on the Aussies, then you've got a chance? Let's look at the Aussies themselves. Why are they such a good side? Why did I say right from the beginning that they are the favourites? Two things. One, they bat very deep. They have different kinds of bowlers. But more than anything else, they don't let the game shut. The game is always moving ahead. Warner's taking the game ahead. Smith is taking the game ahead. Maxwell is taking the game ahead. Haddon, Faulkner, they're all taking the game ahead. Therein lies their winning formula. Therein lies the opportunity for the opposition. Because if you can get wickets early, get a Warner getting a top edge out, Finch is in no form at all, maybe a run out here and there, you don't know, get some wickets early, they'll keep on playing. If the track is a bit slow, India want a slightly slowish, sluggish, stopping, turning kind of track, a little bit of bounce, maybe the spinners come in, the faster bowlers will get the ball to stop, deviate, swing bowling. I mean, I'm asking for the perfect recipe, but if you have to beat Australia, you just have to keep on taking wickets. I mean, look at that spell from Wahab Riaz. Throughout that spell, Australia going at 4-5 and over. The game didn't stop just because that was a great spell. They didn't say, okay, let's say shut shop for 10 overs. They don't play like that, the Australians. So therein lies the opportunity, therein lies the biggest danger. But India have a lot of things going for them.
The new ball is bowling better than ever before. The third seamer has been as good as ever. Ashwin is in top form. Slight weakness about Jadeja, but with a slightly stop and start wicket, then Raina will come in. But maybe that fifth bowler, and maybe the fact that Dhoni is no longer the plug and play kind of batsman. He needs that time in. So you need the you need time. He needs time to get in. But every team has that odd weakness. I think it's a wonderfully balanced contest. But I think you'd go 60-40 Australia to start off with, simply because of the Stark and Johnson and Hazelwood, and then they've got Faulkner. Maybe their fifth bowler is a problem as well, but it's just the way that they play. So 60-40, but I won't say how did that happen if India wins.